I was at daycare one day and my mom came to pick me up. I had to get in the car with her, and I remember she was a little out of it. We were getting pulled over and she reached back to me and asked me to put this bottle of pills in my sandwich inside my lunchbox, and I told her that I wouldn't do that, and she got really angry at me. She ended up hiding them somewhere else in the car, and they weren't found, but it made me realize that there was a problem. My name is Kourtney McMasters, and as a child I was exposed to alcohol and substance abuse. Living with my mom and growing up, I watched her struggle with drug addiction. Living with her, I knew I could do whatever I wanted to do. There weren't any rules. You know, my friends would come over, she would let us drink and we would smoke, and she allowed that to happen in her house. I had a lot of friends, which I was very grateful for, but internally I was very alone and very lost. My papa was my best friend up until about age 13. I spent every weekend with him. I stopped going over there as much because I was drinking and doing whatever I wanted to do, and I didn't know that he was really sick. March 15th, 2006, he passed away. And that hurt so much. That made me really angry at God. And I blamed God for that. I thought, how could God take a person like that? Such a pure soul. It affected my life as far as I eventually did make those choices to fall into drug abuse and alcohol abuse. It was what they called a functioning addiction because I always worked and I always paid my bills. So I felt like everything was fine, that I didn't have a problem until it wasn't, until it got worse. I spoke to my job that I had lost before, and they were willing to hire me back as long as I stayed sober. So I had motivation. Luckily, Emily McKetty, who comes here, started working at my work, and I got to know her and we became really good friends. She invited me to Daystar, and the day that we came, that Sunday, Pastor Allen was preaching about the difference between a relationship with God and religion. And I cried through that entire service because I had no idea that you could have a relationship with God. That was my turning point. That was my moment. God has a purpose for everything that he does. And when I came to definition that first time, having a relationship with God felt like having that relationship with him. It was Papa, and it hit hard, and it hit really deep. I just felt like I wanted to go deeper. I just wanted to be closer. Things can happen, and the world doesn't have to shatter and break anymore. I know that I can pray through it, and I know that God can take care of it. And I never knew it until I started my relationship with God. It's just a different life. It's the only way I can explain it. It's coming out of the darkness and into the light. Now being in small groups and being a part of the production team, got to meet some really caring people. There are people that love you, and God loves you. My name is Kourtney McMasters, and I am now 6.5 years sober. Through God, I am now spiritually sober. I just know that he has everything that I need. Is something that I never knew would bring me such joy and love and laughter and peace.